Now this FedEx just came in, same thing they're doing this morning. Abruptly turned it on right there. Right there, those two trails there. This FedEx turned it on right there and then turned it off right there. And then it's still off right above me here. So I'm not going to turn it back on, but it left a thick trail rather than a thin trail like the other ones. The short, thin trails that dissipate quickly, that one's going to completely spread out and turn into like what those two right there are. And those were sprayed about 45 minutes ago, right over the top of the mountain here like that FedEx, but a little further back, and now they're blowing this way. So all those clouds up there are aerosol. But they have a little different program this morning. Some short trails, no long sticking trails other than these short sticking trails. So they're turning them off and on. So kind of interesting. One going through way out over, looking north. And between the power lines right there, there's one right there, climbing in altitude. So anyways, that's what they're up to this morning. Oh, what's the cat? Cat's waiting for Donna to bring. She just likes the attention. Poor cat. Donna's the only one that can get near it. Just wait for Donna to come out. That's one tough cat, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you can see how that trail's all spreading out now. That FedEx spotted. Oh, that's my report. I'm getting gas, and there's that FedEx one that's spotted, and you can see how it's spreading out. Pretty soon it's going to turn into that. Some long trails, a spotted trail there. Some long trails there. Left it alone a little longer there. 93 million mile away sun. Yeah, right. Little spot up over there. So, chemical haze above the sun there. So they're still at it. Let's see what they do the rest of the day. I don't know what gas is in your neck of the woods. Here it's 350. Over on the coast it's like 370. Arizona, it's like 270, so I don't know how they figure the gas prices. But they always seem to be paying a lot more than anybody else out here. California, Southern California especially. So that's what the sky looks like over this way. Well, that's how even these short trails this morning, these thick short trails that they're leaving, look how they're all spreading out. And those were like, 10, 20-second trails. Here's one they're leaving on right here. Along there. That one goes all the way as far as I can see. In fact, it's over here right now, still leaving a real thick trail. Out over the top of Santa Rosa Mountain there. It's about 10,000, 9,000 foot. Oh, here's another one. So yeah, they're really starting to leave the thin sticking ones right below there. There's one of the thin ones. It's right in there. It's real thin. And I've been trying to capture those, get a better shot of them, because they look like those little bombardiers with 2 inches mounted on the fuselage near the tail. seat about 10, 12 people. And I've gotten some pictures of them, and they don't look like they have windows on. I think they might just be drones up there. And then you got these commercial ones coming through. Here, look, check this one out. This one's sputtering. Sputter, sputter. Yep, look at that. See, that's what they're doing. Just left it right along there, turned it on right there, left that trail right there. Now, there it goes, right there, totally off. There you go. So they're really filling it up today. Whole sky should be covered by the end of the day. Be careful, one just went over the top of me too, as that one was just spraying. Oh, now this one's vectoring, doing the old vector off to its destination, like they do. Come into the valley, spray, that could be FedEx, UPS, and it just shut it off. Look at that right there. Left that. Just like that one did. Just like that one did there. And that one's spreading out there. This one turned it on right up there in that wispy stuff. And then very precise. Started to vector and then completely shut it off right there. So these are aerosols that are being turned off and on. I'm not sure what the different mixtures are, but obviously there's different mixtures. Obviously, we see it all the time. Sometimes they're spraying this black stuff. Other times they're spraying blue stuff. Sometimes they're spraying just two different trails. You'll see them with two different trails in, one engine spraying one trail and one engine spraying a different colored trail. So it's not coming from the engine. They're mixing aerosols. Mike Decker had an excellent footage of a set, looked like a 747. I can't remember which one it was, but it was spraying something from the tail. Mike was saying it was, a belly spray, but it was sputtering some wicked stuff. Who knows what that was? Just a mixture. His cameras, he's got a P900 too, and his cameras, he really gets good focus, but he's higher altitude. I'm at sea level here, plus shooting up through all this haze that drops down into the valley. Mike's up there in Wyoming, where the sky's a little clearer, plus he's higher elevation, and he gets some excellent shots. I used to get some pretty good ones too when my camera was working better, but here's another one coming through, leaving a short trail and keeping it on. Short trail, leaving it on, not sticking. That trail, turned it on, totally sticking, and then turned it off. So, obviously a different mixture. So I can't get the real good close-ups anymore. I guess I need to upgrade to the T1000. Yeah, look at this long sticking trail now. That one turned it on, came into the valley right there, probably heading to San Diego. I've been pulling up on flight radar this morning, but it doesn't really matter. And then there it goes, right in there. Now you can see the sun. It was all pretty clear until these jets started coming through and spotting like this. But the past week, 10 days, they've just been hammering it out here. So there's always that residual chemical aerosol in the sky. So that's my report on the different trails this morning, how they turn them off and turn them on, very precisely. Okay, lots of FedExes coming through, usually the route LAX to Memphis, sometimes out of Ontario, DC-10s, sometimes spraying long sticking trails, sometimes just leaving the short trails, sometimes DC-10s leaving only 2 trails, like the tail engine isn't working. Obviously the aerosol's not working, but this one goes right here, leaving a short trail. And this one, again, it's just leaving 2 trails. So again, 2 trails only. Look how these other ones are all sticking. But let me see if that was a DC-10. Well, that's got to be it, because that's where it would be. Does that have a DC? No, I can't tell. Sometimes FedExes aren't flying the DC-10s through here, so that might have just been a twin engine without the tail engine. There's one further south. I'm not interested in, yeah, what's that one? Okay, another FedEx. And see, that one's coming out of Ontario to Memphis. But it would be out more looking, well, south. Out this way more. I'm not seeing it spraying. Unless that was it that came through right there. That could have been it right there. Leaving that trail right there, and I missed it. Turned it off and turned it on. But anyways, yeah, they're busy at it this morning. I just pulled this up. We got Qantas. It's going to Dallas from Sydney. So it's down near the Salton Sea. I can't see it. It's going right over the top of the Salton Sea. It used to be QFA-11 that came over the top of here, and it still does. 747, and it would go from LAX to JFK. But this one is taking a little different route, obviously. That went all right over the top of Camp Pendleton there. That looked right over the top of, wow, right over the top of my house. Temecula, yeah, there's Temecula. I live right there. Right in there. Huh, went right over the top of my house. Wonder if it was spraying. Interesting. So, anyways, I wouldn't be able to see it from here anyways, unless it was leaving like a super thick trail. Ah, look at all this stuff all spreading out. Yeah, I don't see, we'd be way down there. That's about an hour's drive from here at the Salton Sea. It doesn't look that far from the lookout, but it is. Yeah, coming through and spotting still. There. Look at all this haze above the building there. Haze. Chemicals. Look how that's all spreading out. Oh, and the big one just came through. Another big one. Right where those palm trees are. Adding to it. So they're definitely at it. Like I say, we'll see what happens with this flood that they're hitting Paradise with, just like they did in that Ventura County fire, wherever it was. I don't know, about a year ago. In fact, I did that one where that Delta jet was circling like 3 times where the area that fire was at. And people have been doing that too, pulling them up, and these jets just circling around right where the fire was. And there's one of those little bombardier going through. It probably won't show up the way up there, but we'll see what happens with the flash flood warning for Northern California and the region of Paradise. So we'll see. That's the sky here. Okay, here's another FedEx that just came over. I missed it, but it's doing the same thing, leaving a thick trail. Turned it on, turned it off. LAX to Memphis. And that doesn't look like a DC-10. It doesn't have the tail engine, so what does it say on there? FDX 451. Anyways, it left a thick trail. It says it was flying at 39,000. But there's that trail right there, and it turned on right above me. And look at that. And look how it's vectoring now. Should have been out here to catch it, turn it on, but no big deal. Got enough of them. And it's just continuing to spray. There it goes. Off to Memphis. Turn it on right there. Not sure if it was a DC-10 or not, but anyways, there it goes. That would have been a good catch. Right above me. Bam, turning it on. No way you can say that's a contrail hitting some different airspace up there. Allowing it to leave a vapor trail. It's just too obvious to anybody watching this stuff anymore. Yeah, they pretty much leave us alone anymore for us that report on this about them being contrails. I don't get the contrail shills other than that Encyclopedia Britannica they stick on our videos. And there was another guy that was doing a moon one. What was his name? Michael. Can't remember his last name. Anyways, he did a one on the moon landing and just how phony it was, and like from Stanley Kubrick's studio, with them all just, I mean, you can just tell it looks like a B movie. And they stuck the Encyclopedia Britannica definition of the Apollo missions on there. It's like, it's such a joke, and people are so conditioned. But anyways, we'll wait for another one to come through. I got to get to work so I can get out of here today. Or they cause an earthquake or something out here in the San Andreas Fault, which is about 5 miles from here. Well, 10 miles. I'm right through the valley. It'd be a nasty one when they vibrate that fault line. Those are all the spread out clouds there. Spread out aerosol. Here's another one going through, leaving kind of a sticking trail. Not sure what it is. That must have turned it on right above me like that FedEx did, because it's sticking now. That one's going to stick real good. It wasn't a FedEx, I'm not sure, but it's doing the same thing as the other ones. Coming into the valley and turning on its spray, and then now it's vectoring off to its destination. I guess I could pull it up on flight radar to see what it is, and then we got one out over this way. And it's not leaving a trail. It's probably heading into Ontario Airport. I can't tell what that one is, but that one's sure doing a hard vector. I mean, that's like almost a 90 degree. So why did it do that? Why didn't it just take a more direct route to probably going to JFK or something? I'll pull it up on flight radar just for the heck of it and see what it is. Okay, that one was another FedEx, LAX to Indianapolis. And what's that? That doesn't look like a DC-10. But anyways, that's what it was. And there it goes. Where'd the trail go? Oh, see now, look how far the trail is moving east. Yeah, because it was almost straight above me just a few minutes ago. Now look at it. So they're drawing it east or pushing it east or however they do it. They got a plan for this mixture somewhere, I'm sure. So, yep, that was a FedEx leaving that trail. Turned it on, sprayed its aerosols, and now heading off to its destination in Indianapolis. Just like those other FedEx, they're back to their same routes again, coming in out of LAX, dropping 100 miles out of their way to go to JFK, a lot of them. And then turning back north off to their destination to the northeast. Well, you're driving up 74 and look at the mountains here. Just like it's smog. Looks like smog. The whole sky is just covered in a blanket of chemical smog sprayed from the jets. And it's just blanketing the mountains. I grew up in LA in the 60s and 70s. And smog was just terrible. When days you couldn't even see the mountains a mile away. This is almost as bad. Except for it's coming from the jets. Look at this over there, big old trail there. But anyways, I don't know, they're up to something. Look out over this way. Oh. Big horrid shite next 9 miles. Got my big horrid shite. Anyways, there's this guy here. Nice, huh? Yeah. I don't know what they're up to, but they're up to something. Back from the desert to North San Diego, and it was trails all the way. High trails, low trails, little thin trails. There's one spreading out right there. Right along there. But all this up there, all this is chemical aerosols, some water vapor clouds. There's some kind of front trying to come in. But absolutely no rain. We got one rainstorm since like last beginning of summer, and it was just the weirdest storm. Lightning going every which way and downpour for about 2 or 3 hours, and nothing natural about it whatsoever. So they let us have some rain, I guess. What is that? Oh, it's a little Phoebe bird. A Phoebe bird. A Phoebe bird. Catching bugs. Toxic bugs. No doubt. So, anyways. That's what the sky looks like here. And they've just been hammering. Oh, look, here comes one right now as I speak. There you go, 2 of them. And this is just the way it was. Look at that. Just the way it was driving home. And they were everywhere. You got one. Hope these show up. 2 trails. You got one, and then one out in front of it there. The sky is so covered in stuff, my camera won't focus. It's having focus issues anyways. But there's one that's going right through that trail right there. That one's even a long sticking one. They're going along right with each other. And there's one out in front of it, but below it. Here. Right in there. And then there's one right below it, a little bit out in front of it. Right there. There. Now it's showing up. Barely. So, there you go. One long sticking trail, one short trail. Look at that. Oh, now the other one's sticking more. Huh. 2 of them. I can't see the one in my viewfinder. It's really up in the schmuck up there, but there's 2 of them there. going right along with each other. And that's what they were doing out in the desert too. They were coming in, and there'd be like two of them spotting right next to each other. I mean, they're really hammering it. So I don't know what's going on. Let's see when they get over here, get a little closer. Maybe I'll be able to zero it in on them. Not sure what my camera settings are. But anyways, you can see them right in there. See if I can get a little better shot of them here. I tried to use the manual focus on this, and that's not working. Nothing seems to be working right on this camera anymore. But anyways, there's two jets there. One leaving a long sticking trail, and one just leaving a short trail.